Hey there, gamers. Welcome back to Crypticgamin. I hope you guys have been having a wonderful week. So, I will make a video here for those of you who are new to Skull and Bones, or maybe you're looking at it and you're trying to figure out, is this a game I'd be interested in playing? We'll go over some of the basics, give you kind of a tutorial overview, and I think you'll enjoy this game. I've been playing since early release of this game, and I tell you what, it's been a great game. Now, we've reached a point where a lot of us are kind of waiting on some of the content to expand. So we're kind of caught up, but that is coming. We have a mid-season update coming here in a few more weeks. And then, of course, we will have Season 4 coming up here of Year 2, starting second week of January, I believe it was. So definitely make sure you check this out. So when you first come into Skull and Bones, a lot has changed from Year 1. When the game first released, we used to start off and we had to take hours to build a dhow that would get us to the Red Isles. Now, my understanding is that's actually pretty much streamlined, and you will come over here and you will be starting your adventures in a Badar. So, as you first arrive here at St. Anne, kind of give you an overview here, guys. So, you're going to want to look for your pirate bosses, your pirate lords. St. Anne has one. There is going to be up this stairwell here. And over here, you're going to find Skurlock, and he's going to have a lot of stuff to tell you. He's going to have some missions for you and things like that. And typically, once you speak with him, he's going to send you to the blacksmith. You're going to have to build you a ship. At least that's the way it used to work. Like I said, they don't let us replay the intro level mission here unless you want to start a new character. And they keep changing things around. But over here is your blacksmith. This is where you're going to pick up your basic canning stuff. You're going to do all your building and stuff later on in the game. So kind of give you an idea of what you have here. So you're going to be able to actually go to the buy and sell, and he's actually got quite a few blueprints that you can pick up for silver early on in the game. So you want to pick things up like that in here. I typically try to save for the end, like a Culverin 3. That way you have, but a Culverin 5 would actually be the top out. So you may be wondering, well, how do I find the best weapons? Or the best, over here's furniture. We're going to show you how to find that stuff. Over here would be your furniture. This goes on your ships. I'm going to explain that in here as well. It's basically like if you're playing a RPG game or something like this, kind of role play game, and you can add different things to you to give you buffs and things and help against, debuffs that you may be picking up due to certain things. Your furniture is going to help with that. It's going to increase firepower. Then, of course, you have your shipyard up here. This is where you will come to build your ships, and you will purchase all of your smaller ships here. And then for your larger ships, at least the way it used to be, the way it's been in the past is you had to go to Talak Panjara, and this is where you would pick up your medium ships, okay? And we'll take you over there here in just a minute. But just kind of showing you what we've got around here. Then, of course, you have your refinery. And you take a bunch of raw materials, and you can turn them into planks and things. And it'll give you mission queues and teach you how to use these different features, guys. So, don't feel that, you got to remember everything you're hearing here. I'm just giving you an overview so you can see what it is. It's got refining in it. Basic refining, advanced refining. I mean, they got refining that you just, they're kind of working on this a little bit to try and streamline a little bit, get rid of some of the stuff that we don't really need anymore. They're doing a pretty good job of that, so definitely stick with it. But they will give you a mission to teach you how to refine and stuff like that. So, okay, so this is the basics of where you're going to start. And you're going to be fighting through, and you got to go through the different ranks. And what I mean by ranks, we're going to go over here, and you will have your captain info. I think I'm a 388. We got guys that are like way through the roof on this stuff. They're like maxed out on Kingpin ships, but I think it's like 1200 or something like that's the max. I have to ask Triton, him, and a couple of AP and some of them guys in the Discord. They're maxed out already. So anyway, you do this, and for every 100 you will get a Kingpin chest. It used to be for every rank, but they've switched that to every 100, and they're actually really good Kingpin chests. So there's a lot of stuff. It's really worth getting that kind of stuff there, guys. Then, of course, you'll have your ship. This will tell you what we're currently in. So I'm currently in this frigate here. I've named it the Paradox. Large size ship. It tells you some of the basic the basic stuff of it. It is a maxed out level 15 rank. It's got the grit perk, resolve, deep blue, colossal, abundant gun ports. The base ship ranks now a 9 is what they are originally, and as you add all of your weapons and stuff, like we got the heliports here, these heal as they destroy it heals you while you destroy the enemies. Threw a fire culvert on the back, mainly because there's 2 ports and I didn't feel like rolling out a special weapon for. I know that's lazy, but hey, it's still a 15. Rowing Meg in the middle, that's great for siege weapons. Been running that quite a bit. Then, of course, you have your achievements and stuff, and you can come in here and claim a lot of these. Some of these things actually reset, some of them don't. So different achievements that you can run in here. Okay, so the point is you want to get to what they call kingpin rank. You're going to have a lot of different ranks to come up to. Once you get to kingpin, you open up what is known as Helm Empire. This is where the end game begins. Okay, now the end game is still ever expanding in this game. We're roughly a year and a half, a little over a year and a half into the game now, and it sounds like we're getting close to the point where they're going to be having to do a map expansion, which would be the Northern Territories. I'm going to post a picture up at the end of the video for you guys to look at that as well, because there's some rumors floating around that I guess they've been playing on it and they've got some of the map laid out here, so it continues off of this area. Like I've said in the past, you got a body of water up in this vicinity, and then you got some islands and stuff, but it's going to have a new setup, but it's looking pretty cool, so it's coming along. We've not heard any word on when that's coming though, but we do know for sure eventually we're getting a map expansion, and eventually we're going to be able to do hand-to-hand combat. That was something that was supposed to release here in season 3. It did get delayed because they want to get that faction system dialed in, and we're going to be going over faction system. That's something new to this game as well for the end game, guys. So there's stuff here to grind. You'll stay busy with this game. Now, you're not going to stay so busy that you're going to have to grind for years and years and years and never catch up to us. You're going to get caught up pretty quick. By then, season 4 will be coming out. You're going to be getting a lot of opportunities with the holidays to get some of these events in here as well. So that's definitely going to be worth it. Now, what Helm is your basics for creating currency for yourself, in-game currency. So you have pieces of 8, which is just the gold and the balloon. They're not as important as they used to be, but they are still used for Unita. And when you reach Kingpin rank, you're going to be speaking to, you'll be up in Talak Punjab. I'm going to show you where that's at. You'll be here. Once you reach Kingpin, they're going to send you back to speak to Unita Nara. So that's where I'm headed now. We're still at the Red Isle. We'll show you that other area there, guys, but just kind of give you an overview. So this is Unita Nara. She is over the black market. She also introduces you to your smuggler's den hideout, which is here. There's rumor that we're going to be able to have our own private hideouts, which will be located on different locations. We'll see. I know that that's some stuff they had played around with in some of the betas, so it sounds like they're bringing some of the beta stuff out. Now, I'm also going to make a video later this week to explain some things that I'm sending into Ubisoft that I like to see them adjust in the game. But I think most people would be happy with it. I can't say that they're going to listen to me, but it's some things I want to do. So, okay, when you come over here, you're going to be able to purchase a lot of these, cannons like the Zamzama 3. You want to get the blueprints, which you really want on that, but you're going to be able to buy a lot of stuff. This is going to bring a lot of the blueprints that you're going to pick up in the game. You're going to have to pay pieces of 8 for these things, but not all of them. But this is where you're going to find a lot of them. There's actually a really good ship in here. This is a boat that you're going to want to get pretty quick, pretty early on. Y'all start earning pieces of 8 a lot quicker now than we did back when we first started playing. We had to hit Kingpin rank before. I think you actually earn pieces of 8 now, but you don't actually see them come up viable until you reach certain ranks, from what my understanding is. But the Sambuk, great ship, high DPS for those of you who like those glass cannon type builds. This is great. You can make it so it's not so glassy, but the trick to this ship is you want to make it as powerful as absolutely possible, and you want to destroy the ships on a single pass as you come by them. You don't want to have to be turning that brick around and all. It's like trying to steer a brick with a sail. So, okay, now we told you about how to find the weapons. So we're going to come to our Codex. We're going to come back to our menu, and we're going to tab over to this little book icon here. And when you come to the Codex, you're going to be able to find your ships, all the different types of ships that's available in the game. Being as I own all the blueprints, it's not going to show me, but it will show you where to purchase the blueprint. Now, whether that's going to be from Blackwood or it's going to be from Lock Pandra. Now, Blackwood is going to carry the newer ships. We're talking the Blighter, the frigate, the schooners, and things like that. Juggernaut, the Artificer, the Guardian, the Pyromaniac, or Sambuk as it's called. That's over there with Unita. Then when it comes to the Hullbreaker Brigantine, the Vanguard, the Bombarder, and of course the the Padawakon. So once you go get these 4, you have to actually, once you reach ranking, you can get those. You're going to have to traverse the seas. Now there's a lot of storms. If you come down this pathway here, guys, and come across the map at the southern border, you're not going to run into anywhere near the storms. And as you come up, you'll be able to come up into, you know, the territories and stuff. But understand, you're going to be getting kind of attacked by just about anything and everything at that point. Do not scope any ships. If you start staring at ships with your scope, they will attack you. You shouldn't have natural aggro yet because of the simple fact that the faction wars is an in-game thing, so you're not going to have a faction yet. So I'm now at Talak Panjar. I want to show you a couple things. So when you come across the bridge, you're going to have some stores. There's a store on the left. There's a warehouse here on the right. I wish that the warehouse in Talak and the warehouse here or over in Red Isle were not actually connected. It would be really cool to be able to have two warehouses with 500, you know, slots in it a piece, but unfortunately, we didn't get that. Okay, so this is Unita's sister. She has black market items as well. But to get started in that actual Helm, guys, once you hit Kingpin, she's going to send you over to talk to her sister. But she sells stuff here. Not all of it's the exact same stuff, but most of it is. But you can find a few items. And anything you can buy here, you can buy over there. Even though there's a weekly limit, you could buy from both locations. Now, we used to be able to buy from both locations in both world tiers, but now they have connected to world tiers where world tier 1 and world tier 2 will sense what you've purchased. So this is where you're going to be doing this helm stuff here, guys. So as you first start into the helm, you're going to want to do a couple things. So there's some upgrades here. You're going to have some pieces 8. You're going to hit Kingpin. You need a Nara. It's going to have you go get a location. She should give you a blueprint or a helm lease is what we call it later on in the game, but it's like basically it's just going to be a deed and it'll have a location to go to. For me, it was Fort Delis. For a lot of people, actually, it's Fort Delis. Now, whether or not that's still the location she gives or if it's random, we'll have to definitely chime in and let me know, guys, when you reach that level, so we can keep this information as up to date as possible. But once you start capturing areas, the way that you do that, if you see these little hostile takeovers that come up, they're red. Some of them will be blue. Some of them will be buyouts, like this would be a buyout over here. You can actually buy the location for certain types of materials. Then you have these legendary heists that you can run. When you run these, they will actually you will earn a actual territory as well. Now, here's the thing that's cool. Once you start gathering territories, so you already own all the territories and everything's maxed out, but you can see I still get takeovers. So if you have like a level 1 here and you want to get that up to a level 5, you're going to want to make sure that you first and foremost go come down here. You're going to upgrade Empire Administration, and then you're going to come over here to Coercive Growth. What this does is Empire Administration allows you to have 8 more manufactories. You want to collect them all. And then the Coercive Growth perk, what this does is this allows you to raise the manufacturer level by 1 level every time you run a takeover or something like that on that event when you own it. Every time you run that event on top of it, you're gonna rake it up a level. But here's the thing: each faction. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Each faction. So when we look at this territory, this here is the Sea People. Okay, so this one here is. This looks like Clanfara and Sea People on both of these. This one here is Clanfara, yeah. So this one here is going to be Campaign Royale. And then, of course, you have like DMC and stuff like that. So there's factions on these things. The reason I point that out is because the factions are up here. And this is where it starts to get expensive. When I say expensive, meaning you need to grind to get those pieces of 8. I'm going to teach you some things to do that, guys. But for each faction, so here's Sea People. This one here is going to increase the maximum upgradable level of Sea People manufacturers by 1. So you would be able to go from a 1 to a 2, 2 to a 3. Okay, so then there's going to be another one down here a little further. This one here is going to let you take it to another level. There's one here that's going to let you take it to another level. And as you come down through here and you're upgrading things, you're going to see that there's different stuff. So you're going to have improved equipment. This is talking about your laboratories. That's part of your in-game currency. I'm going to teach you how to do that. That's where you make your silver at in this game, guys. Okay, so manufacturing expansion, this would let you take it to a 4, and then this one here would let you take it to a 5. You could take it to a 2 without doing anything, but to go to a 3, you need manufacturing expansion on that particular. See, there's another one up here on Clan Forest, same track, same little trick. Same thing over here with Campaign Royale. That allows you to level those things up. Now, there's this thing called the Helm. And remember when I showed you over at Unitadara, I said that's where you enter into your Helm? You little hidden smuggler's cove. Well, you have laboratories, and I'm going to show you how to operate those two in the thing. But you have laboratories. This is the tree for your laboratories, and this is where you make silver, guys. So you're going to improve. You want to improve all of these as quickly as possible. It seemed like when I came through, I just come straight up this path here. And then I came straight up this path here. This was one of the least expensive areas of the game to upgrade with Pieces 8 is this tree here. Get this done as quickly as possible. Okay, I'm going to show you why we want to get that done as quickly as possible. So when you are actually part of the thing, you can actually just hold RB, and it's going to automatically take you to your Smuggler's Cove once you've opened it up, guys. And this is where you'll find all the pets that you've earned and things that you've got and all your rewards, and you got eights and all kinds of stuff from your battles and all that. And it all starts to stock up in here. Okay, so this is the laboratory. Let's interact and show you what we got. You're going to pick up raw materials across this game, and those raw materials are going to have, Black Lotus opium. You're going to be able to make Black Lotus opium, silver snuff, carved imperial jade, blue lotus opium, black snuff, and of course the imperial jade. So these are the entry levels to these things. Okay, these purples here. Then of course the golds, they are the finished product. So what you have to do is you have to bring it up. You would refine this stuff is essentially what you're doing. We're going to take and move this to our warehouse real quick. Okay. And let's go ahead and finish this stuff up. But you earned this stuff, and I'm going to show you some ways to earn it real quick. I just want to get this kind of going there, and we're going to bounce that out. Okay. Now, as it's upgrading, and once those are done, you upgrade it to the final content. Now, you have this big board. There's a lot of little things you can interact here, but this real big board here is where you want to focus at. I'm going to take you to Red Isles as well and show you that one over there. This is Talak Panjara. Now, this is what they call supply network. This is where you're going to pick up your stuff. Now, I will be honest with you. I only run the rovings. I don't buy anything because I want to make 100% everything pure profit, okay? So I will take it. I will run the supply roving, and you just go out and you blow up the ship that's there, and then you come back to the shore and dump it off. But this here would give me like 225 poppy. This is their 225 juniper berries, 225 poppy. They don't really pay a whole lot, but they pay a little bit. What pays the best, honestly, is your fort plunder. So you could come over here and you could pick this fort plunder contract up, plunder that fort, and get 615 tobacco. This one here would give you 135 imperial jade. Of course, more tobacco again, more tobacco again. This in here would be sugar cane. So the tobacco obviously makes tobacco, and then of course the opium actually makes opium. You may be wondering, what is the sugar cane for, and what are those juniper berries for? Well, I'm going to show you what they're for real quick. We're going to move over here to the Red Isle. This is where they make the liquor. So those are the smokables up there. And when you make that stuff and you get it up to Gold Skull product, I'll show you that real quick. Once you get that up to the final stage product, you would take this to the Pirate Lord. And I'll show you the Pirate Lord of this before I jump to Red Isle. I'm sorry if I jump around too much for you guys. Okay, so we would then come in here and say, you know what, we want to make this Black Lotus opium, which is the highest state gold standard. So we'll go ahead and get that one running. Now I have all my workers are busy. I don't like them staying around not doing anything. Okay, here we go. Let's hop out of here. And we're going to show you where Rama, she is the Pirate Lord for Talak Panjara. You'll do a lot of missions for her. She actually has some of the highest XP and some of the really good pay on some of her missions for the early stages of this game. I can remember grinding hers, Skurlocks, and of course the blacksmiths, just trying to get the XP to rank up and stuff. But it's got a lot easier than that now. But okay, as we come up these stairs, this is where you would find Rama. And you would take those products, and I'm going to show you something here real quick, show you how much this stuff can sell for. I'm not actually going to make a sale, I don't think. I'm just saving all this up. This is my nest egg in case we run into quality of life resets, which has happened in the game in the past as they balance these things in. Of course, there are people using, what did he call the things? Exploits or whatever and stuff. So they've had a few of them in the past. So this here's where we go to sell. Then we're going to cycle inventory because I'm not really carrying any of that stuff, I don't believe. Nope. So I want to sell. So it's like, okay, I got to sell some stuff. We're going to look down here and find our materials that can be sold. think that's down further. Okay, so here's some silver stuff. We've got 30,000 of them. Now, when it comes to Rama, she will buy the snuff and the opium. When we're at Skurlock, he will buy the gold skull and the gold skull rum and the gin there. Now, if you look, Rama only pays 125 for that, but she pays 250 for this. You will see the exact same thing over there at Skurlock. He's going to pay 250, but he only pays 125 for this stuff. So if we decided to sell, we need to make us a quick buck. We got enough for 7.5 million just on this one stack. Then of course we got another stack over here, which would be probably 8, closer to 9. Another 7 million over here. Probably got another 7 or 8 million over here as well. So we've got some money. We got some silver stuff saved back and all. I'm not selling anything right now. Just trying to continue to build that stuff up is kind of where I'm at in the game. And that is how you make silver. That is the quickest way to make silver, is to run those missions that I showed you and then convert that stuff at the laboratories and then sell it for silver to the bosses. And that's how I fund all of my silver businesses and stuff. You're going to be plundering anyway, because the quickest way to get smuggler points to earn the stuff in the smuggler pass is to plunder. So go ahead and pick the contracts up and plunder the areas that it tells you to plunder, and you're going to be getting all kinds of really good stuff. So there is currently a 1.2 event, XP event, I guess you'd call it, for the little Halloween stuff. So if you're not haven't ran that, you should be running that. And I do recommend that you come over here to Seasonal Hub, come down to Smuggler's Pass, and then kick over to the Seasonal Spoil. You can click this and it's going to give you an increased rate of earning that special currency. So that's something that you're going to want to do. Okay, now, being we're back over here, we're going to show you the laboratory. It's basically the same stuff inside, guys. The only difference is this here makes liquids, where the other one makes smokables. It's essentially shows a bunch of people down below, and the little setup down here. Now you will upgrade this system. You may be looking, okay, well mine doesn't sell as much as what this guy's showing. Are you upgraded? That's my first question. Have you upgraded that tree that I showed you? I do recommend doing the tree. This is something new that they started, and I'm actually really glad that they've started this. And I'm going to tell you why I'm glad that they started doing this on this thing. Because, one, we have this new thing where we can get these different boosts and stuff. And they used to have pages, which was essentially what this stuff was. But it was a little more in depth now. And now we don't have to reset every single season. We've not had a reset yet here in season 2 or in year 2. We're not supposed to be seeing any more resets on this stuff. That's not to say we won't see currencies get manipulated or something later. That'll be up to Ubisoft. But as far as this stuff here, it's supposed to stay the same. If you look, everything's here. To do it all, it took me from as soon as it released, which was year 2, season 1. I had everything collected. I think had all of that completed up there, but I think I had this lower area here. I had to bring up the 5s still. So it'll take you, 3 or 4 months probably. Well, probably not that anymore. The reason I say probably not that anymore is because when you come over here, and I will show you these quick areas. If you run Tangita, Rabe, and then you run this Jokakabwa. Here's what I don't understand, why we started calling them by the captain's names instead of like this Dian Senaga. It used to be called Treacherous Turn. This one here used to be called Show of Strength. That's called Dirk Anchorin. But anyway, these here, they pay out pieces of 8 as the loot. And I make 500 to 600 pieces of 8 loot per that. This thing here, Mega Fort Wolvenhall, it pays out really good on pieces of 8 as well. Everything seems to pay out a lot better than it used to with the 8s, and you can really rack up some 8s pretty quick. And that'll get your stuff upgraded. Now, once you start getting 8s, there's something that's pretty cool here. So we can actually come up here to these territories, and as you can see, I'm making upgrade parts. This helped me upgrade stuff. Now, we're getting a boost on this right now, by the way, guys. I don't know if y'all remember, if y'all seen the video where I was telling you that we were, for 3 weeks, they were giving us a boost because of that hiccup that they had where things weren't quite earning what they were supposed to. So they're giving us this 2 times thing. So this is pretty sweet. It would be good, to boost. I just wish that our boosts that we initiate lasted a little longer. So a couple things that you'll see me doing while I'm doing this is I'm assigning and unassigning ships to locations that pick up pieces of 8. So like this one here, I've got, I think it's upgrade parts on this one as well. Yeah. So a lot of them I'm making upgrade parts on, and then, just kind of taking and refining stuff and trying to use old currency to make upgrade parts. You can do that over at the refinery. But once you've captured all these areas, you may be wondering, what is it I need to capture first? Well, I'm going to show you the trick on this. Now, for me, and everybody is going to have something totally different, but this is what I did. For me, I went ahead and I grabbed all 4 of these locations. First thing. They come up all the time. Seafood, lumberyard, all. Grab these 4 locations. The reason you want to grab 4 locations, one's it's right by Red Isle, St. Anne, where you're starting off. Okay? You're going to come up here. It's an auto collect. So once you own all those areas, I can just auto collect. I don't have to send a ship anywhere. Then you're going to want to capture everything over here. The reason for that is, you guessed it, it's another auto collect. There's 5 in that location you want to grab. Now, you're going to be getting things like Helm leases and stuff like that. And you can go to location. You want to have the Helm lease in your cargo. When you go to the location, you're going to go up, you're going to interact, and you can use that lease to buy that location at any time. It doesn't have to be up for a purchase or anything like that. You can use those at any time. So if you're wondering what to spend those on, I would spend it on those 2 locations. Here's another location. Here, this one here again, auto collect. You don't have to send ships to it. Here's another one, auto collect. You don't have to send ships to it. Then this is last auto collect section right here. I would get the auto collects first because it makes it easier while you're farming. And then you can worry about these other locations and stuff. But as you can see, these little bitty white lines and all, you want to make sure that you connect all these little things. Basically, you want to get everything because you get extra bonuses and percentages. Like this one here is an additional 11% because I've completed that one. Here's another 11%. Now, I will tell you something. They do not actually pay the full 11% for all of these. It's 11% for all of it combined, not for each individual. They had it as each individual one in year 1. Season 1, and then they started nerfing everybody pieces 8 and stuff, but they finally got it balanced in. So you want to get all the connections, but no, you're not going to get 11% boost for every single connection. I don't know why they haven't fixed that wording on that stuff. So, but that brings you up to this point. So as you get this stuff captured, you should be also running through the storyline. So if you want to do faction wars, is it worth it? I mean, I'm going to show you what we got going on. So here's what I do when I'm running faction wars. You got roughly 2 weeks to run each phase. We might get 3 weeks on this phase. I don't know. But that catches up to that point, guys. So right here is faction war. So we went with campaign Royale. I've not run any of this phase. It's like battle period 3 of 6. So probably it's going to be these last 3 periods. But anyway, so you will have to earn from 21 to, I think it's 30. And then after that, you will have to wait for battle period 4. Now, it's not hard to get this stuff. It's literally repeats of everything that every week it's a repeat of everything that you got the week before. So it's up to you if you want to run it all the way through. Understand, if you don't run it, then you're not contributing to your faction. Now, the quickest way to run this stuff is really simple. So to get through this thing, you literally only have to pick up war cargo and deliver it. You can run defenses. You can come up here and you can slam these, forts and stuff like that. You can run the defenses down here and all. But what pays the most is running war cargo. Pick up. By the time you run 9 of these, you will have completed everything for that week, guys. So is it worth it? Sure, it's worth it. It gives you different furnitures. One thing you will learn is, well, even if it's a furniture you don't think you need, later on, there will be a boat that will end up being released or something, or a weapon or something, and you're going to go, oh, man, I wished I had saved that. So save it all. Now, I want to discuss a few things with you in this game too, guys. Warehouse space, you're going to not notice it too much at the beginning, but you will start to notice that toward the end. I'm going to show you a few things for warehouse space. So one thing you're going to do, you want to come up, you want to make sure that you cook any and all things that are raw, turn it into its finished product, whatever finished product you decide you want. When you do that, that actually takes and it stacks that stuff out in a stack rather than having multiple stacks of raw and cooked. Okay, now, with that said, when you come over here to the blacksmith, you're going to notice that there's a lot of different things you can do as far as salvaging items. Now, when you salvage items, you can come over here. You can salvage a lot of this stuff, or you can take and you can sell a lot of that stuff over to like Skurlock and all those guys. Because some of that stuff they'll pay 650 pieces of eight, or 650 silver or something like that on. So if you need silver, that's a good way. I'm sitting pretty well on silver. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to salvage this stuff. And I'm going to show you why. When I salvage this, it was something I opened here in tier 2, and did we get 2 upgrade parts? So this is why it's important to look at what you've got, and it could be something. I've not used this thing at all. I haven't used that one either. Those are some new weapons. So there's a rock mouth. I want to hang on to those. I got them kind of spread out. I need to pick up some more of those. I got a couple ships with them. Now, with that said, some of this stuff here, like this Culverin 5, I don't need that. I've got Fire Culverin 3s. Now, I used to use these quite a bit. They are set up. I'll probably hang on to it. I am currently using those heliports. They are freaking awesome. So it's got a half bears and dragon cannons. Let's see. I'm not going to lie. It gets where you got to kind of figure out what you want to keep. So a lot of this stuff, if I've got blueprints for it, I'll dismantle and get rid of a lot of the upgraded versions. Like I don't use Forest Scourge. I have no need for it. Now, there are some things that you get, guys. They're going to be fully ranked out. Now, my understanding from what I keep hearing from some of our advanced PvP players, they say if you get an ascended weapon that's like triple ascended, fully maxed out, keep it because it'll actually have a higher percentage than the other weapons that you have to send up. So, I've not, checked that myself to make sure, but that's what I've been hearing, and those guys are usually pretty spot on. So, make sure if it's something that you need, then, obviously you're going to want to keep it, but so we're getting upgrade parts from this stuff, and that's kind of what I do. If I don't need it, I toss it, man. I'm not going to hang on to it. There's a lot. I don't mess. There's no need for me to keep a whole stack of those things at all. Now, when it comes to a flooding bombard 3, don't need that. Mons Meg 3. So I actually have a ton of Mons Megs. I'm not sure why these are in my cargo. I guess I don't really need them because I don't really use them on anything. Bombard 5s hit harder. Main reason I got rid of that. So let's see here. We got Fire Bombard 3. It's got a single ascension, but like I say, I could build them. Plus, I've got a ton of them that's already ascended up. So I would have had, that was one of those that would have been a higher rate probably, but I don't really use these anymore. So typically I come in here, like I said, just clearing out warehouse space. If it's 2s or 1s, it's gone. If it's something I'm not using, it's gone. Bombard 5s, you still hit pretty good. I've got to actually come in and God roll those things. I just had never got around to it because they've got so much new stuff out that's just been so fun to play with. But I did get my schooner taken care of and some of them other ships. That's been pretty cool. And that was something else we're going to talk about. So torpedoes, Hellgate Serpent, that's a great torpedo. Does a really good job for healing stuff. And again, a lot of this stuff we got blueprints on or stacked up weapons until they come up with a blueprint for it as well. See, legacies, we'll keep those, I don't really need the chalets. They give these things out like freaking gumballs. Plus, I'm pretty sure I've got a blueprint for it. Okay. Now, we should be able to find a bunch of these borders. So this is actually, if you're looking up, we've got like 439 and 500 slots, 437. So we're getting there. It's going to take a little bit, but there's probably still a lot of stuff I can ditch and get rid of. I will have to look at my inventory and write down what exactly the old materials like the mopine planks and stuff like that I've still got in my warehouse that I need to toss. But typically I can get within 420 or so, 420 slots filled. And one of the things I've been doing here lately too is when it comes to things like Bombard Powder House, I've got the blueprint. I don't need this thing. So I've been slowly coming in, and I've actually been coming in and just getting rid of things that I just absolutely don't need. So a gunpowder bench, we'll hang on to it. I don't think any. I got a blueprint for it, but a torpedo grinder, there's no sense in hanging on to one. We've got the blueprint. Certain things like ironcladding station, I'll use those pretty often, just kind of flipping them on different boats, so I don't really get rid of stuff like that. But ballista grinder, I have absolutely no need for ballista stuff. I don't use them. I'm not saying that you shouldn't use ballista. I'm just saying I don't use ballista. So I don't even keep that crap anymore. As you can see, it just keeps filling up in your inventory. So let's see here. Brazing furnace. Yeah, so we'll halt there. That gives us quite a bit of stuff. So now we had talked a little bit about those other ships over there at Tlaloc Panjar, the 4 first medium ships you're going to pick up. Then, of course, there is going to be Blackwood. Now, most people skip the other 4 ships, come straight to Blackwood, and they come up and they want to talk to him, and they go, okay, Blackwood, what do you have to sell, and what are you charging? And he charges guild marks. Yes, that's right, guild marks. Very quick and easy to get guild marks. If you're wondering how to get guild marks, this is the part of the tutorial you want to see. And guys, feel free to make a, what do you call that, like a minute list or whatever. Someone always has asked me to make chapters. I don't know how, but a few folks have come in and they've added timestamps and stuff. So feel free to do that. I won't, I don't mind if people do that stuff on there. Okay, so we're going to come over here to Blackwood. We're going to do buy and sell. And like I say, it would be buying with guild marks. Now, obviously, I own all the blueprints, so I don't need them, but they sell about 1,000. Some of them will go up as high as 3,000. But most of them are 1,000. I think this is 3,000 because it's a large ship is the only reason. But I don't really know. But that's my guess. Now, if you go, okay, how do I earn them guild marks the easiest way? Well, honestly, if you look right here at your rank board, your leaderboard, and you earn infamy by blowing up ships, sinking ships, completing plunders, things like that. It progresses you. You reach diamond rank, then every week you can do some more, and you earn a set amount of guild marks every time. You earn guild marks on everything that you do. Sinking those ships is going to earn you guild marks on here as well. You're going to earn guild marks for doing war cargoes. You're going to earn guild marks for doing your convoys. You're going to earn guild marks for doing, anything that you do in this game is going to give you guild marks, and it's going to give you infamy. You're going to earn plenty as long as you stay busy. You earn plenty of stuff there. It's not too bad. Now, as far as this reap it and weep mission here, guys, it wasn't. I didn't find it to be that hard. Just take you a healing weapon, put it on the bow of your ship. Whether it's a bombard or if you got multiple ports on the front, I was using a frigate, so you get 6 gun ports on the front of that. I just threw a healing, a white jade on there, and I would just pop it with that and take it down. Was originally using the buoys, but you run into people using the torpedoes, and they have a tendency to hit the buoys, so it's just easier to just shoot them with the other stuff. Some people are using bombards. It's totally up to you what you want to use there on that kind of stuff. So that's currently where we're at. So when you're in your faction war system, I guess to close this video out, and if there's any of this stuff you guys want more information on, let me know. I don't mind going in and doing some tutorials and stuff on it. When it comes to mission help, if you need missions and things like that, help with that kind of stuff, I do ask that you write down the mission name so I can at least look it up. And if you're in our Discord, it really helps because you can actually take a screenshot and it helps us to ring a bell. And not just with me, but there's a lot of guys. We've got everything from maps. There's maps of every location in here. It's in the maps tabs. You should be able to find what it is you're looking for. If you can't, just post it and someone's going to tell you what's up. We got a lot of folks, they do really good on keeping up with all of that stuff. So definitely let me know if you're looking for a group to play with. But this game's a lot of fun, so I want to show you kind of what I'm looking at here. I've been playing around with a lot of my ships, and I got rid of some boats. I kept some, got rid of some, and just kind of moving some of this garbage around while I'm thinking here, guys. Sorry about that. I just got a little sidetrack. I should have dealt with this when I was at the blacksmith earlier. Okay, moving all that stuff over. Now, I was wanting to look at the boats here. When we go to ship loadouts, or my fleet, there's a lot of boats we have, a lot of ships, a lot of duplicates. We got small ones, we've got barges, we've got badars. We've got ships from every class of ship in this game. There's a ship in here for it. A lot of these are a lot of fun. Like the badars, they're just fantastic once you rank them out. They're a great ship. To me, my favorite boat in this game, I can't say hands down anymore because when it comes down to it, for the overall satisfaction of Let me bring this ship up for you here. The overall satisfaction doing forts and stuff like that. The schooner is hard to beat. So I use the Divine Thunder on the front, and I haven't even taken. I was wrong with this. I didn't even use this thing since we got where we could lock in and God roll our weapons. So I need to focus on doing that and getting all that stuff up there. But this ship is one of the best ships in the game, in my opinion. And I use Bombard 5s all the way around on this thing. And then, of course, that Roaring Meg on it as well. And it's just fantastic. I put double siege on this, plus firepower. And, of course, on the front of the Divine Thunder, we're running the Amplified Electric twice. And then, of course, firepower. Then, of course, over here on these Bombards, running Shock. And, of course, the Siege and the Second Storm. See, we got Shock on here again, and Siege and Second Storm. And I'm pretty sure it's that way coming across. Yeah, there's Siege, then Second Storm. So these I've got really set up for electricity. This whole ship is kind of set up for like electric type weapons and stuff. Really cool, but it really boosts off of explosive, because this ship is naturally an explosive ship. As far as it really helps with the explosives and stuff. So this is my favorite ship in the game. Hands down, the schooner. I recommend it. You will be able to do anything and everything in it. But don't get me wrong. All these ships are great ships. You should be building at least one of everything. You don't have to build multiple. You don't have to build as many as I've got here. I've got 32 or 40. I know guys that have all 40 ships slots. I don't do that. And here's why I don't do that. Is I can't trust that I won't go in and start upgrading something and have 40 ships there and then end up losing my ship. If you have 40 and you go to upgrade that 40th ship, you can lose a ship and you can lose everything on that ship. It's happened to me a couple of times. So you got to be careful with that kind of stuff. So when it comes down to ships, so let's find us another one here. This is the Sambuk class here. So this is actually my first major ship. So I don't count the Patagoan and the Brigantine or the what was that other ship? The Snow, because I didn't see where they were. I mean, the Patty was okay, it had some stuff, but at the time the Brigantine wasn't really quite where it's at now. But this ship here had a natural aspect. You want to take out anything and everything around it. It has an ablaze effect. It shoots out this fire ring as you're destroying the ships and stuff. So it's kind of like your characters on a lot of ARPGs and MMOs and things like that, where you can really tune them in. Same with like your shields or your armor and stuff. There's certain types of armor, like this Buccaneer's Oath. This one here is going to increase every time you sink a ship. It increases your firepower and your armor rating by 25% for 30 seconds. And every time you sink somebody, it resets that. So that's always cool. So that's another one of my favorite ships there. And then last but not least, and like I say, there's no such thing as a bum ship in this game, I don't think. Let's see. I won't find my enigma here. I think it's what he's at. Yes, so I've got a couple frigates. I've got that new sloop of war. But to me, it's really hard to beat these. It didn't swap out. What's up? What's up? Oh, well, shoot. Okay, hang on a second. What's going on with this thing? It would not let me. I must have assigned that boat to something. I must have assigned the ship to something when I got out earlier. So it looks like. But anyway, frigate's got the most guns on this game, or the most gun ports of any ship on this game. And it really does a good job. It really does. We're going to jump into Paradox. That may be where I was at earlier. We'll take you over and check it out here. So you've got 6 gun ports on the front. You've got another, let's see, 6 on top. Then I think it's 12 or 13 on the side and 2 on the back, and 2 auxiliary slots on it. So you actually get to use 2 auxiliary weapons, and it's just fantastically awesome. I enjoy it. But they're beautiful ships. So, but I hope this gives you some ideas and some things to do, guys. Definitely let me know if you've got any other questions. We'll catch you guys later.